Today we rebuild Manchester United, but with three twists. The first twist is that we will be the director of football and Ruben Amorim will be the one in charge of the day-to-day operations. The second twist is that the scouting budget and the transfer budget is irrelevant. We will be given £5 million per league position, and that will be our budget for the next season. And given that we're playing on an up-to-date database, it's not looking good for our budget for season 2. And the third twist, well, we're only allowed to sign one player per season. So despite players like Xerxes, Maguire and Lindelof all being wanted by various different clubs, we have to take this into account before we say yay or nay to any of these transfers. It goes without saying that the Premier League is out of our reach in season 1, and the best we can do is finish second. But realistically, it's going to be somewhere around between 11th and, 17th. So, yeah, we're not going to have a lot of money to spend this summer, are we? So it's actually gone from bad to worst. 16th place Man United finished. Quite some way clear of relegation, but not massively clear of Wolves, and some way behind Fulham in 15th. Liverpool won the league, there's no surprises there. Arsenal finished second. Man City only managed 4th. Nottingham Forest do very well to hold on to 3rd and actually take it quite comfortably. But 16th place, that's not good. It means that we have a transfer budget of 25 million, so 5 million per place from the bottom of the league. 25 million. Is there anybody out there in that 25 million pound range? Do we have anybody less than 25 million that will improve the team? I mean, we've got Lionel Messi, Neymar, Oscar, Icardi, Busquets, but they are very much in the back end of their career, possibly past their peaks. And if we're looking at players at the top end of our 25 million pound budget, we've got centre backs from relegated clubs. We've got Laporte from Al Nassr. I mean, that might be a pretty sound option when we think about it. Skamaka, if we want to go for a forward, not entirely against that. Reggie, I mean, I think I found someone. Now, the only issue I have with that is we've already got Xerxes and Højlund in the squad. It does look like he favours Xerxes. And if we do a comparison with Omorodion, I think, FM certainly seems to think that, other than maybe in some of the physicals, that Xerxes is a better player. So I don't want to spend my budget on Omorodion if Xerxes is still going to play every game. That's not going to improve our chances. One thing we do have to worry about is Lindelof is leaving the club, as is Maguire, I believe. So we could extend Maguire's contract, but if Lindelof leaves, Martinez is quite injury prone. We do have limited options in centre defence. Johnny Evans, wanted by Al Ali on a transfer. I mean, we're not going to get much money for him, but 37 years old, he's not going to see much more football for us anyway. So I'm thinking maybe we go in for a centre back, Okay, I've narrowed it down to 3. Aymeric Laporte was a great defender in the Premier League in his Manchester City days, but the fact that he is an ex-City player does leave a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Sotalo from Ajax. Now he's 6'3", he's got very good attributes, and he's 25 years old. He likes big matches. He's consistent. He's good in the air, and he's not the slowest. Third option is Odilon Kasunu from Leverkusen. He's been on loan at Atalanta for the second half of this season. Doesn't look like he made an appearance. Not sure. I mean, he's injured. Only a hamstring strain. Not quite sure why he wouldn't have played an appearance. Maybe it's all off the bench here if you look down here. Yeah, something's up in this area. But he's a little bit younger, same height. We don't quite have this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scout him as well. And I'm going to let my scouts tell me who they think the best option is between I think it's between the two. I think I'm going to rule out Laporte. I think it's Kasunu or it's Shotalo. When we do a direct comparison, Shotalo's better defensively, Kasunu's better physically, and there's not much to separate them mentally. Kasunu does play a variety of positions. I think I'm going to wait for the scout report to come back and the big matches attribute, although it might be a while before we're playing any big matches. Okay, so every now and then the universe gives you a sign that you're a bit of a wally, and in this instance it has done this with Odilon Kasunu because we're actually unable to bid for him because he's got a future fee clause in his loan contract. Although it is only an optional fee. His loan runs out at the end of June, so do we... I'm going to bid for Sotalo, and I'm going to keep an eye on Kasunu's situation, and then we're going to have a tough decision to make. Well, we've bid for Sotalo, but there's Saudi interest and Paris Saint-Germain, and we did finish very low down in the Premier League. I can't guarantee I'm going to strengthen the attackers because I can't do that for another season. He does want Champions League qualification. I'm going to do that. I can send you on a language course. Don't you worry about that. And now we just got to hope and pray. I mean, do we just go a bit... It's very Man United to overpay for someone, isn't it? So why don't we just go for 100 grand a week on a 5-year deal? I'll tell you what, I'll even give you 21.5 grand every time. Do you know what I will do? I will throw in not that 11.5. I'm gonna pretty much double that. I'm gonna double it. £23,000. That's quick maths for a clean sheet bonus. So just very happy with that. Let's see if he accepts our quite appealing offer. Okay, so we've got through to the 31st of August and the season hasn't started great for us. We did settle on Sotalo, even though he's not showing here. He's not showing there. There he is. I was looking at the wrong side. So Sotalo came in for 25 million as another centre-back option. I extended the contract of Harry Maguire for another season just to give us a bit more depth. We also rejected some advances from Newcastle for him, although his only appearance so far has been a substitute one in the Carabao Cup. We did get a little bit lucky or unlucky, depending on how you look at it. So Sancho came back from loan, didn't make his deal to Chelsea permanent. So it gives us another option in the wings, despite not being very good for Manchester United. But he has been playing so far this season. Same could be said for Anthony in terms of coming back from his loan deal, despite not being very good. And, well, he hasn't really been involved this season so far. And Marcus Rashford came back from Aston Villa, started all 3 league games so far without contributing towards a goal. Now, this one was strange because Villa did activate the release clause in his loan contract, but he rejected them. Maybe they didn't want to pay him £300,000 a week. But I'm quite happy to have him back in Football Manager terms. It just gives me an option to play him on that left wing for a couple more seasons before I have to look at possibly strengthening that. The one thing that's worrying is obviously if we look at the fixtures, where is it, schedule? Now, it's been a tricky start to the season, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal. The Tottenham one, that's a bit disappointing. The worrying thing for me is the only goals we've scored have been by Lisandro Martinez in both the games that we scored in. Now, 1-0 win, 1-0 defeat, not too bad. But Bruno Fernandes is not really going to be playing in Amorim's system. If we look at where's his form, So he's having to play out on that right-hand side. He actually got sent off against Chelsea. That's back end of last season. Suspended for those 2 games. So he played on the right as an advanced playmaker in the 2 games there. I don't think that's really going to get the best out of him in Football Manager terms. So, I mean, I'm not under any pressure to sell him. I can only sign one person per window. I'm not really that reliant on player sale money as it stands. And if we're down in 16th in the league, if we're there at the end of the season, we're not going to have a lot of money anyway. So I think we'll keep Fernandes for the time being. If we look at who's largely playing up, Xerxes is playing up front despite not scoring. It looks like De Ligt, Martinez, Sotalo, possibly the first choice centre-backs. Garnacho's had a couple of starts. Malacia has actually played a couple of games. He's under a bid from Chelsea. Kind of think we've got Luke Shaw and we've got Dorgu. Like, do I need 3 left backs? Probably not. Lenny Euro, I did promote to the first team, but he's gone out on loan, as has Heaven, who we signed from Arsenal in January, just to try and get some development, really. There's no point in them being around the club for the time being. That's all we can pretty much say, really. Johnny Evans left the club. Ericsson left the club at the end of their deals. We extended the Amad Diallo's contract. And yeah, a couple of freebie signings, really nothing to write home about. But we need to improve on 16th place, because I need some money to spend in the summer. Yeah, right, let's get at it. End of May. But let's see, can Ruben Amorim turn this ship around in season 2 and give us some money to challenge for a league title? Okay, so better. I have to say better. Not great, because the board and everyone wanted us to get Champions League football, but a 7th place finish and Conference League football for next season, which might get bumped up to Europa League on the old coefficients. That's okay. Marcus Rashford there is 6th Player of the Match awards, and Andre Onana was actually 2nd in the clean sheets, or joint, or 3rd, because Edison and Raya. And Onana was actually 3rd, or joint, yeah, the 2nd really, because Raya and Edison both got. Okay, so better. Not where we want to be and where the board want us to be, because they want us to be in the Champions League. But a 7th place finish, Conference League football, which might get bumped up to Europa League depending on the coefficients. Rashford in the 6th Player of the Matches, 2nd to only Haaland and joint with Odegaard. Onana, 3rd on the clean sheets, but only 1 behind Raya and Edison. So I feel like we've built something there. The clean sheets part of a team. I mean, we actually beat Liverpool 4-0. I mean, they'd won the league, but 4-0 on the last day of the season. Okay, it was Van Dijk had a bit of a shocker, 2 late goals, but we done bits there. So Tarlo, the player we brought in, 28 league games, and he didn't score. That does surprise me. He's 6'3". He's got 16 jumping reach. Get him up there for corners. What is going on there? That is an oversight there from us. But all in all, an average rating of 6.85 in the league, 6.86 overall, because that wasn't any European football. That's not too bad. FA Cup, Tottenham vs Liverpool in the final. We've not taken the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup by Brentford, so it was a very slow start to the season. Wow, we must have been right down the dumps at this point, but steady progress. Still quite a few too many reds in there, but after January, we had a good January. February was okay. I thought 5-2 was a scoreline. A 2-1 defeat away at Sheffield United. That's pretty. And then we only. Okay, so he's thrown in some 4-3-3s here. How does he set the team up here? 4-3-3. Ugarte, Fernandes, Mount. Gone. See, I actually think that would probably get better results than the 5 at the back, but he went back to it, and it worked okay. But yeah, We even finished the season with a 4-3-3. So he's starting to maybe not be as stubborn. Bruno Fernandes with a hat-trick there. But that's okay. And finishing 7th gives us a budget of 70 million to go out and splash some cash and try and find a signing that's going to take us to the next level. I mean, Lavia is there if we wanted to go for a defensive midfielder, rated very highly by our scouts. If we wanted to go for another centre-back option, Mark Gahey's there. He would be affordable. Kirkes would be a good option for a left wing-back, although we've got quite a Pender if we was to go for a forward. Who else have we got here? Endrick. Endrick, that's tempting. Palacios if we wanted to go for another option as a CDM. Amadou Nana's not a bad shout. I quite like him on Football Manager. Ivan Toney, Kai Havertz. Yeah. Coyote, sorry, at right back. Raspadori. Oh, do you know what? There's some pretty good tempting options. Zabanya, if we went again. Boniface. Mickey van der Ven. I like Van der Ven a lot. His pace. He's wanted already. Yeah, we're going to have to do some serious thinking here about what part of the team we look to improve. If we look at the team, if we sort it by appearances, yep, Anana, Martinez, De Ligt, Xerxes. I'm sorry, I think we need to go in for a striker because Xerxes playing 38 games and only scoring 9 goals. Højlund is not getting a look in at all. Yeah, I think we go for a forward, which I've narrowed down to 4 options. We've got Openda from RB Leipzig, very quick, good finisher, and yeah, possibly I'd say quite a realistic option. Skamaka, very good on Football Manager, better finishing, not quite as good physically, but he's tall. He's got that jumping reach. Didn't really work out for him at West Ham, but yeah, there's several theories about that not necessarily being his fault. Omarodion again, 15 finishing. He's a beast, and I'm so tempted to go for him just because I know how good he can be. And then Endrick, we all know, can be absolutely amazing. And at 19, the only issue is, I think, because he's only 19, is he going to get into our starting 11 next season? He's probably not. Xerxes got better attributes other than the speed everywhere on the hexagon or whatever shape that is. But he can play from the right. Yeah, see, long term, Endrick is definitely. If I was doing a proper save, Endrick would be the option all day long. But Omarodion is just a match engine beast, although we're not actually sort of playing the matches. Randomly had a game at DM. Okay, maybe we need to save him from a future as a defensive midfielder because, yeah, he's a beast. And there we have it. Big Samu was our choice in the end. I just couldn't bear to see him play at DM. According to this, though, he does come in behind Rashford and Xerxes. So maybe we move Xerxes on, in all honesty. Not because I dislike him. I actually think he's a pretty good forward on Football Manager. He's just not obviously playing very well in our system. And I think, yeah, if I'm not going to be building a squad based on signing loads of players, I might actually have to just move some players on to get out of the way of some of our players. Lenny Yoro, I think we're going to look to loan him out for another season, but then we have to realistically look at his pathway into that first team and how we get him some proper game time. Same with Heaven, if he's going to be good enough. Probably not, 3-star potential. Although we did just get a bid in for him from Chelsea, who Yeah, he actually out of contract soon. So we may have to look to just renew his contract and see how he develops. But yeah, does Luke Shaw have to leave so Dorgu can get some game time? Only 10 starts from him there. Kobbie Mainoo, not enough starts. Casemiro is probably one that's going to be leaving the club this summer. And then, yeah, there's still some deadwood that are playing. I mean, Anthony's not playing that much. Ahmad's going to leave on a free, I believe. Mazraoui's wanted. I'm not overly keen on selling him. Luke Shaw is wanted. Sutalo's wanted by a host of clubs. Rashford's wanted by Tottenham. Bruno's wanted by Saudi. De Ligt's wanted by Arsenal. Martinet, I mean, the Wolves are circling, or the Hounds are circling. One of them, the Hounds and the Wolves are both circling. The Wolves are at the door, I think, is the phrase I was looking for. So this is going to be a big season. So another transfer window has been and gone, and 3 games into the season, we've got 2 points. We're sitting 16th. It's another slow start. Obviously, it was Big Samu come in, and as I said, we did get rid of Joshua Zirkzee and quite a few other people, really. Zirkzee went to Al Nassr along with Casemiro. Load of contracts expired. Lenny Euro's gone on loan to Brighton, which I'm hoping will give him some good first team options this year. And yeah, everyone else is pretty. Malacia did go to Chelsea last season. Everyone else is pretty fringe players, but it has left our squad quite small, very small, in fact. So yeah, bit of an oversight there, really. We're going to be heavily reliant on Sutalo, De Ligt and Martinez at centre-back, which is not ideal. Luke Shaw can cover there, which is an option. It's largely going to be between Ugarte, Mount and Mainoo for the central midfield positions, and then Garnacho, Rashford on the wings. Bruno Fernandes will chip in there as well. Anthony, a bit dubious about that. And then Højlund and Samu up front. So this is going to be a big season. I think this team is going to have to take us forward. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to say another centre-back, but Lenny Euro will come back. I'm hoping he'll get enough first-team football at Brighton to be a starting centre-back for us. And then it might have to be a good DM. But we're going to need big performances from Samu. He's had 5 starts, 1 goal so far. We need him to hit the ground running. And we need it to happen fast. So we're no closer to winning the Premier League. It's another 6th place finish. And I'm not seeing Amorim in the top goal scorers, which is a worry. He did get 23 goals across the season. 17 of them in the Conference League, though. So that is stat padding. 4 goals in the Premier League. Wow. What was we doing? Deep lying forward. No. This is something I probably should have looked at before I signed Samuel Roddy chat. Because he's playing deep lying forward. He's not a deep lying forward. That is very, very annoying. However, there is a silver lining to the season, and that is a Europa Conference League win. And in a normal rebuild, you'd be saying, do you know what, fair play. That's a good boost to us. But yeah, we'll take it. It certainly might help us achieve or sign a good quality player for next season. And in terms of how much we're going to have, it's 75 million. I did say it was another 6th place finish. It was actually an improvement on last year's 7th place. So if you look at the 3 seasons, I mean, that was season 1, then 8th place. Okay. 8th, 7th, and now 6th this season. Yeah. So there's still a lot of work to be done if we're going to win a Premier League trophy. And again, we've got quite a bit of work to do. Well, I say quite a bit of work. We can only literally add 1 player to this squad, and we can't afford to lose anyone. I'm really worried about Amorim playing as a deep line Why is he training him as an advanced forward and playing him a deep? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But alas, here we are. Schedule-wise, he hasn't really. Well, he's still gone to the 4-3-3 every now and then. I'm not sure what the contributing factor to it was because it doesn't seem to make any sense. But actually, Mason Mount got 2 goals in the Conference League final. Fair play. But yeah, the league season very unflattering in terms of look at that semi-final of the EFL and penalties. That's disappointing. Says runner up there. Did we win? We must have lost that leg and won it on penalties, maybe. And then, got humped in the final by Chelsea. But we won the Conference League. That gives me hope. And looking at a squad, I don't know. Do we need another centre-back? Lenny Yoro played 13. He played half a season, really, for Brighton on loan. But he's going to be a 5th best option. I think we're paying the price for overly trimming this squad. We need to keep an eye on some of these players and their contracts expiring. Luke Shaw is out of contract now. Martinez is out of contract now. Jeez. And Fernandez is... Okay, so I need to get those 3 players re-signed ASAP. And then, for me, I'd like to get a really world-class right winger in. But it's just not going to happen. Garnacho's going to have to do the job there. Along with Rashford. Well, it's going to be Garnacho and Rashford, Anthony and Bruno. A CDM maybe. Kobbie Mainoo's not really improving as I would have hoped. Yeah, centre back. I mean, left back, right back, we've got okay options. In goal, we've got an okay option. It's just all okay, isn't it? Maybe the better option is just limiting this at 75 million and seeing who the best option would be. I mean, there's not a lot there, is there? We're not attracting we've got £1 million a week in wage budget, but it means nothing. It means, someone just put the feelers out there. We'll pay someone £1 million a week to come in and transform us. Tiat is a good player. Let's just drop him. I'm just going to scout some of these players and see if anyone comes in as like the best option in that position that we could play. Baleba ticks a lot of boxes, you know. He is a very good midfielder. Are we seeing anyone? I'd love to put him. We just don't really play an attacking midfielder. Van der Ven still knocking about. 49 million. Endrick went on loan to Gladbach and got 6 goals in the Bundesliga. So maybe we did make the right option for the short term in that. Other than that, there's just not... We really need a big season from this team, and hopefully some of the young players just grow into their potential somewhat. I'm looking down. Coyote still there. Lavia we could have got season 1, I think it was. Kirkes, Krupi or Lorenzo Luca, just for the... just thought, we've gone all in on Omorodion. I can't really go against that one season later. So I think if it's between Tiat and Baleba. I'm leaning towards Baleba just because of squad depth. And we've got Lenny Yoro coming back. I think if we can get Baleba in for this season, we've got enough to get through that season. And then we've got a free reign of whatever we can afford. So we're about to kick off the next season, and it's been another indifferent start. 4 games in. We did beat Newcastle 3-1 in the last game, but 2 draws and a defeat before that means not so good. The decision we made in terms of the transfer was to bring in Carlos Baleba. We managed to tie down Martinez to a new contract, and Lenny Yoro actually got like Young Player of the Year whilst on loan at Brighton, so I figured he's pretty ready for first team football now. And the squad's looking a little bit bigger. I'm slightly worried about losing some players. There's a lot of interest in Garnacho, Rashford, whose contracts are up next season. There's Rowie's next season, or end of the season as well. So it's going to be tough, but I feel like we're getting there. We've had some progress in the last couple of seasons. Maybe a 4th place this year, I think will be good. So season number 5 is in the books, and it's a 2nd place finish. It's mind-blowing. Amorim still only 13 goals. If he would just play him as an advanced forward, we would have won the league that season. We did win the Europa League, so definitely progress being made. And Amorim is a European beast. He's got 11 Europa League goals. I don't know why he can't convert it into the Premier League. Is he just... No, he's being a deep line forward in every game he's playing. It's just... I don't know. Amorim's just adverse to playing him as an advanced forward. How... Will we close? I mean, that's a... Villa and the Bournemouth games. How many points was it in the end? Okay, it was 8. So that would have only put us on 83. Everton there. So, I mean, we've done all right. I still don't know why he just randomly throws a 4-3-3 in every now and then. Like once a month. It's a monthly 4-3-3. But, yeah, it's tricky. I don't know where we go from here. How do we perform as a squad? If we go by, like, average rating, it's Amorim, Ugarte, Rashford, Garnacho there. So I was looking at maybe getting a new winger. But the fact that they're doing so well... Murder, he played 3 games with £55 a week goalkeeper. We're going to ignore that. Lenny Euro struggled to game time. I'm worried he might not hit his potential, especially if I was to bring in another centre back now. Luke Shaw. So Dorgu looks like he's played more games than Luke Shaw, maybe. No, Luke Shaw is still first choice left back, but some of that must be centre back, and Dorgu's come in. There's a lot of wanted signs, but again, it means nothing. Murdoch hasn't got a contract, so I might just enter a contract for him just to £470 a week's nothing, just to say I've got a backup keeper. It's how did we get on? I mean, Højlund is a backup striker, but he's only starting 2 games. He's not getting a lot of minutes. He did get a player of the match in 1 game, bless him. 1 start in the Premier League, 1 start in the Carabao Cup. So Amorim's got that shirt. If we go competitions, Premier League, in terms of goal difference, 40. So we've got a 42 goal difference. We've got a pretty good defence. The defence is good. I don't know. We just need a goal scorer. But what's handy is we've got a £95 million transfer budget, and we're never going to have more. Endrick is available. He could play on that right hand side. Ranieri. I mean, this is just for transfer. There's going to be some people that are probably not available, but Pedro Porro is a very good right wing back. Evan Ndicka's a good centre back if we want to employ that. But I know Gittins can play either wing. That's quite appealing. That is quite appealing. I wonder if he's any better or worse than Garnacho or Rashford. Jeremy Frimpong's definitely better than the options we've got. But I feel like we're so close. It's got to be a big position. It's got to be a central midfielder, a striker. We're not going to get better than Amorim. Šeško is there. He's just not going to play 2 up front. It's pointless. I feel like most other seasons it's been really obvious when I look through it. Someone stands out. But this season there's just... I really just don't know where we improve this team. Do we go for a better goalkeeper? I mean, what games did we... Those games at the end of the season where we lost. 3-2, 3-1. See, I don't know. 1-0 Crystal Palace, 1-0 Wolves. That's big. Big points dropped there. So the other issue we've got is we've got Obi Martin, who is developing at some rate at the moment. I think we actually bump him up to the first team, I'm going to do it. I'm going to see if he can get any minutes. And yeah, that makes me think we definitely don't need a forward. Is it another DM? Is it another centre-back? Mind you, centre-back options. Eric Garcia's there. Demiral? Nah. Dragusin? Nah. What I'm going to do, I think I'm going to forward into like July when the season ticks over into the new season. And I'm just going to see if a boost in rep or if any more players come available. I don't think we need to rush this one. I think we need to get the right one because I think we're on the cusp of doing this. So the deal we went for is Jamie Bino Gittens from Dortmund. £91 million. It was a release clause. It was pretty much all of the money we had to spend, but I just couldn't find anyone that I thought would really improve our team. According to our scouts, he's just going to be a backup to Garnacho and Rashford. But so far this season, we've got 1 in 2, and he's got a couple of sub appearances. So he's going to give us a good amount of depth in the wing position. If we look at our squad, it was by position, like Rashford, Garnacho, Fernandes. We only had 3 options really. Dorgu can play attacking midfield on the left, but that's not going to win you a league, is it? In terms of how we started this season, pretty well. Obi Martin, 4 goals in 1 game. That was in the Carabao Cup. He is looking like he's going to be challenging Samu for a position this season as well. Look at these stats. 17 acceleration, 17 finishing, 17 determination at 19 years old. I mean, he's not got off the bench in the Premier League, but he's taken his chance massively. 4 goals. Who was it against? It's against Wrexham. But still, how are Wrexham doing so far? They're in League One, so they're not progressing. So, yeah, we should be battering them. But in terms in the league, we beat Tottenham 2-1, Rashford and Dalot. We drew 0-0 with Liverpool, never a bad result. 3-1 against West Ham, I'm already on getting a couple of goals. And then Fulham, it was 2-1. Bino Gittens getting his goal. Fernandes for a match-winning penalty. And unfortunately, we did lose the European Super Cup to Real Madrid, but there's no disgrace in that. So yeah, that's a good start. I'm a bit positive about this season. I think this could be the one if we actually look at our squad. Anthony did leave the club. His contract ran out. Again, but bringing in Bino Gittens, I was not fussed about that at all. If we do have to go another season, it's probably going to be left back we improve in renewing some contracts. A lot of people were asking to strengthen the left wing back position. So, unfortunately, Luke Shaw might be going to Brentford by the looks of it. But, yeah, depending on how far up we finish this season, I'm hoping we win the league, to be honest. We finished second last year. We've brought in Bino Gittens to improve the team. Yeah, I think, like I said, feeling confident. Let's just see how we do. And just like that, Manchester United are Premier League champions by a whopping 12 points from Newcastle. Man City finished down in 8th. Things you love to see. And yeah, Omorodioum finally getting the goals in the league. 22. Rashford got 14 assists. He's come back and done really well for us since his loan spell at Villa. Garnacho with the average rating. Onana's nearly there with the clean sheets. It has been a pretty good season. Champions League, well, we got knocked out in the semi-final by Manchester City. The FA Cup, we actually won as well. Look at that. We beat Chelsea 1-0 in the final thanks to a Marcus Rashford 92nd minute penalty. Bruno Fernandes not even getting on the pitch. Look, no substitutes made at all from Man United in that final. Very bizarre. But looks like the 5-2-3 finally clicked for us. He's just not making any changes, is he? No wonder Højlund hasn't been getting any game time over the course of the season. 1 start, 13 off the bench over the course of a whole season. Not very good for me. Doesn't actually look a bad striker, in fairness. If we look at the squad, who's played the most games, Lisandro Martinez, 60 games. Omorodioum, 37 in 59. That is what we signed him to do. Did he finally get to start playing? Nope, he's just finally learnt to be a deep lying forward and still score goals, scoring back-to-back braces in those games there. Very nice indeed. Didn't do too much in the final, but that's all good. That's all good. How did Bino Kittens do? Well, he didn't play a lot, did he, for 91 million? So that's a bit disappointing. Yeah, I knew I wasn't really signing him to be a first teamer, but I thought he would have got more appearances than that. He did pretty well in the games that he did play, so fair play. I think it was just a lack of substitutions from Ruben Amorim over the course of this. The rest of the signings we've made then, let's have a little look as a recap. So the first signing through the door was Satalo. Where is he? There he is. So he's played 57 times this season. So he's been a stalwart throughout. 138 appearances for the club since his £25 million move. And yeah, he's gone from strength to strength. Still a first choice centre-back. Although, according to this, he's the third best centre-back at the club. But that's all good. The next signing we made was Samu, which we did look at. 39 and 106. That only tells you half the story. If you look at overall, he got 37 this season. He got 27 the season before, and he got 23 in that season. So in the continental competitions, the Conference League and the Europa League, and even the Champions League, he fired in some massive goals for the club. Next season, we signed Carlos Baleba, who has been a first choice. 30 starts in the Premier League, 51 games played in his position as a DM, 8 goals in the 56 appearances for Manchester United in the league. I'm pretty happy with that return. And then, of course, it was Bino Gittens who just, probably deserved a bit better, if I'm honest. But overall, over the course of the rebuild, I think we've done pretty well. The first season was a 16th place finish, starting in 15th. And then we just gradually got better. 7th in the second season and a Conference League spot, which we went on to win in the third season and finished 6th. A second place finish with a Europa League win in season number 4, and then wrapping it up, a kind of treble, the European/South American Club Challenge. Not sure what that is. I think that's the Europa League winners versus the Copa de Torres winners, or the second one down. We'll take it. Of course, the Premier League and the FA Cup, they're the ones that really done the business for us. And that is where we leave things today. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Feel free to let me know down in the comments if you'd have spent any of that money in different areas, and if you think you could have done any better. Got Manchester United back up to first in the Premier League within 5 seasons, with Ruben Amorim leading the charge and only signing one player per season. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon.